G'day listeners, welcome to Barkarati, the sailing podcast. My name's Jordan Spencer and it's that time of the week where we get to hang out with some really cool sailors, but of course I have to share the microphone duties with my two idiot mates. First off, Mr. Brett Perry.
Greetings, Exalted One.
BP.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be. Seems to be the way it is at the moment, but my arms are 3 feet longer.
Yep, well that teaches you for sailing those cheetah boats.
Well, none of that, just white boats.
White boats.
I'll tell you what, they're pretty
If it's not the boat, it's the arms. Just making them longer.
Just making them longer, that's it. So, 25 knots and hanging on to that spinnaker. Anyway, all good.
Well, let's bring in the other bloke so we can continue the conversation.
He had a voice that could make a wolverine purr.
Mr. Nick Boss.
Hey, boys. I've got to say, and for our listeners, we actually pre-recorded the interview that you're about to listen to, and I have been laughing my head off. Now, a warning. Is this the right time, Jordan? Shall we give a warning? This episode will have an E alongside it.
Yeah, explicit.
There are several explicits. Quite a bit of language.
But completely
if you can understand it.
Yeah, but completely innocent because that's just the norm in the Spanglish.
That's right. And but some of the comments that was made by our guest, I have been laughing my ass off. So we've given the warning. In saying that, it's been a fucking beauty and just to break the ice. For the Volvo diehards, this really is one for you. And if you were around in the early days of the Volvo 70s, this is...
We've got a bit of a legend here. We've gone to Spain to dig this one out. Done 4 Volvo ocean races. Part of the Sail GP team for Team Spain. Won the Sydney Hobart a few times, TP52s, the whole thing. He's an absolute legend. Most people would know him as Neti. His real name, Antonio Cuervas. Welcome to Barkarati, Neti.
Hello, guys. Thank you very much for having me there, guys. I'm very happy to be with you.
BP. I'm waiting, BP. You got your guitar. You're about to start strumming the Spanish national anthem.
Yeah, get it happening and get that red and yellow flag draped around my shoulder. My second home. Mi segundo casa, España, for sure. Good to see you.
I see your Spanish still as good as always, eh?
Yeah, completely.
Shit, yes.
No, it's okay. We tend to add a bit more Australian to it nowadays. So it's a bit of hola, amigo, como estas.
Good.
No, all good. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too, guys.
So, Neti, tell us before we kind of dig deep into your history and how you ended up where you have today. Just give us a quick little rundown. Where are you right now, and how have the last 2 years treated you with the limited travel?
Hello. Yes, was basically now I'm in St. Bart's. I'm finished the band with the Tyros, and a big boat, 220 feet, and I've been racing this year in Skorpios.
Oh yeah.
I did the 600 with them. Galactic Crossing. We watched pretty quick. It's true that the last year has been quite bad with COVID, but I consider myself one of the lucky ones because to be honest, I have a lot of job, so not too bad.
Perfect. We're going to talk about the Skorpios for sure. I'd love to hear some stories about that. So you're in Antigua right now, and you're about to do the bucket, isn't it, this weekend?
The bucket.
Yeah. And what are you doing that on, mate?
It's a boat called a Tyros. It's a big boat, 220 feet.
220
One of Jordan's favourite.
Thumbs up.
It's a very, very cool boat.
It's kind of it's about the same length as the circumference of his head. So that's why he likes it so much. We'll end up we'll end up back in St. Bart's and talk about espresso martinis and all those sorts of things. And but how did it all start for you? Where did it start? Are you from the mountains? You're from the sea? Were you an early yachty or?
I started as a kid. I'm from a city north of Spain called Santander, which is quite famous in the sailing world. We have the world's in Olympic classes a few years ago, and that's when it became kind of famous in Spain. But there is a big fleet, or there used to be a big fleet of first class 8 dinghy classes, and now it's a big class of J80s, and there's a lot of sailing going on there. And then I started as a kid there between the summer place where I used to spend with my parents in Ribadeo, a small town. I did sailing lessons when I was 6 or 7, and then start to sail in the winters in Santander in Optimis and any dinghies. And then I started to sail on Olympic classes, and I was part of the Olympic team in the Tornado class.
Oh, yeah.
For a few years. I didn't make up to the games because at that time Fernando Chavarri was the number 1 of the team.
Oh, Fernando Chavarri, yep.
Yeah, and then it's when at that year I was sharing the Olympic sailing with TP52 Bribon.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a year that I see there was no chance for me to go to the games, and I need the money, so I keep working on the TPs. And then is when the under 30 rule came up. That was year 2006, 2007, and then under 30 rule came up, and it's when I have the chance to join the Volvo team, Telefonica Black.
Yeah,
and that was my first Volvo, and from then, as I always say, I get into the wheel, and once you're in the wheel, it's a bit easier.
Well, that was years ago. I was in that team with you, and I remember you rocking up the first day. A young Ñeto, he rocks up and with a smiley face, just extremely excited to be there. But geez, you've gone a long way since then.
Yeah. That was a while ago already. Seems far, to be honest.
Just like yesterday.
Are you, Neti, a descendant of the royal family? Given your history within the Volvo Ocean Race, the support from the royal family, the association with Bribon, with Juan Carlos. So, are you his mystery son?
No, I'm not. It's true that I sailed with Juan Carlos for 6 seasons, I think, or 5 seasons. He's super kind with his crew, and when we sail together with him, he's been always like one more of the crew, and he treats us like his friends, or because he was there for having fun, and we were having fun with him. And yeah, the episode in Sweden, which I think many people know, was he support me, obviously, but no, like many other people did. Nothing more special than you think, guys.
but still a great family and a great sailing family, and there was good times back then too with them. I mean, they just used to love getting in amongst it with all of us.
For sure, and to be honest, in Spain he has done a lot for sailing, and if we weren't for him, me and many other international and Spanish sailors wouldn't be where they are now. That I can guarantee to you, because he's one of the person who push more to have the big events of sailing in Spain, like the start of the Volvo and America's Cup, and he has always been doing races with super good people around, like Bawe or like I know, Ross McDonald or Tim Barker, and so he always pushed to have good sailors around him, and it was super good for the Spanish sailing. I can guarantee you.
So you've found your way into the into the Volvo shed down in Alicante. What was that feeling like when you first went in there, and you hadn't been picked for the team yet at that stage? It was still tryouts. Yep. And you've gone into the shed, you saw all the containers, and you've seen the boats, and it was the first time there. What was the feeling like, and seeing all the sailors around as well?
For me, Volvo was always like a dream that unachievable. Like I would follow the Volvo guys like Pepe Ribes or like all like the rock stars or the legends there selling there, and I thought, it's impossible I'm gonna be one day there, and I'm going to have a chance. And then when this rule of under 30s came up, I still think, it's going to be super hard because there's so many good sailors around, and it's going to be very hard to have a chance. I was very lucky, and I think that's one of the things that changed the whole thing. That by the time I was selling on the Bribón, Bauer Becking was the tactician of the Bribón, and he was at the same time going to be the skipper of both boats, Tele Blue and Tele Black. Mm-hmm. So he saw us, Patang and myself, you know Patang.
Yeah, very well, yep.
Sailing on the Bribón, and he thought, I'm going to give these guys a chance. Mm-hmm. So we went to Alicante for some sea trials. You were there, Brett, you remember?
Yep.
And there was another bunch of guys. Daryl was there too, and some of the Spanish guys. They tried like 10, 15 guys, and they will choose the 4 best for the 2 boats. And I was lucky, and I went through. So very happy for that.
So are we. Yeah.
Bloody hell, must have been quite amazing. Obviously, the royal family influence and Bauer Becking. I know BP and I have spoken about this on the show before. If you ever work for Bauer, basically he's your boss for life, or he considers that he's your boss for life. But there's another individual there that has been pretty influential with the Spanish sailing scene, and I'd be pretty keen to hear about his side, and that's Pedro Campos. He
exactly the same. It's the same. Pedro has been always involved with sailing, and I don't think we can say any Spanish sailor who has sailed in a high level or travel abroad never worked for Pedro Campos at some stage in his career. So Pedro is probably, with the team together, the guy who has done for sailing in Spain the most. Obviously, it was his business, and he was doing a living out of it, which I totally respect and support, because everyone chooses his way of doing money, and the better you do, the better for everyone, you know. So Pedro, I've been working for him almost all my life at some stage, you know, because I have done 4 Volvos, and the 4 Volvos
is almost all your life.
It's a big part of my life, and with me, he's always been super kind and super respectful. He's a person who, as I experienced, never get into the technical side, or he can give you his opinion, but he choose a technical department or a technical director, and he let it do his things, and he respects that. And if you ask him for support or opinion, he will give it to you nicely, but it's not the kind of boss that he wants to get in every part or aspect of the project, which I think is good, because in these big projects, I think we all agree we need to learn how to delegate. Maybe you choose the wrong person to each area or whatever, but when you give someone the responsibility, it's his area, for the good and for the bad, no?
Mm-hmm. So he actually left that job for Shabby to...
In the last Volvo, yes. In the last Volvo, Shabby was the guy in charge, and I think he did really good.
Fantastic.
Yeah. For those listeners who don't know, Pedro Campos is basically the principal behind the Telefonica Blue and Black and the Map Free teams, and as Ñeti says, has put a lot into Spanish and world sailing for that matter. And he's just one of those guys that sort of sits behind the scenes. No one would probably even know what he looks like outside of Spain. But he's
also one of the biggest in North Sales. He owns, or he used to own, part of the North Sales company.
Yeah. So anyway, there you go. So yeah, just a fantastic guy to have in the sailing world for sure.
You should invite him one day to Karate Bar.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good idea. What do you reckon, lads? I don't know how his English is though, Ñeti.
He's good. You want to have a lot of laughs with him.
We'll have him and Cesar on, and we'll give him a bit of a. We'll call it the financial review.
Cesar, no, I haven't heard and/or spoken of him for years. What a great guy he was.
So just back to Telly Black. So you get the call up. What's that mean for you? You're on the bow. You're the nipper of the team.
I was the nipper of the team, but basically I was doing all the jobs that anyone didn't want, because I was sailing with a lot of Spanish sailors, super experienced, all from the Cap and all from the big boat sailings and this and that. were-
self-related legends of the sport. Apparently, if you ask
Exactly.
them.
Yeah. We were not a team very experienced with the offshore sailing, because I think from the team, only navigator Roger Nilsson, it was his 8th or 7th Volvo. He was 60 years old by then.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah.
Roger Nielsen.
Legend. And was leader Jaime Arbonis Livio. He was also has done one Volvo. The rest, no experience at all.
Sorry, just go back onto Rogers quickly. Didn't he write a book about the same time Telefonica Black came out? Vicey, do you remember the book?
Yeah, but it had nothing to do with sailing.
You're right.
It had everything to do with all his other obsessions.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
He spent 6 months in San Francisco in a clinic, and it was. Roger is a real character. So you
absolutely.
Yeah, legend.
Super funny guy.
Anyway.
And I remember like three months before the start of the race, or 5 months before, he has a surgery in his heart because he has a heart trouble, and we were this dude, 60 years old, he has a heart operation 6 months before the start. What the fuck? But he ended up doing well. It's super good.
He did. Sorry to cut you off there, Ñeti, so keep on going. So you were saying you got the call up, you've got these legends around you, you're doing all the jobs that no one wanted to do because you were the nipper and the bowman from memory.
I started with the bowman after Cape Town, I think, because at the beginning was Pachi. Do you remember Pachi? Spanish bowman?
Pachi, yeah.
And he moved to do the Barcelona, so there was a bowman. I was doing kind of bow, but I wasn't official as a pitman. And then with the main bowman was Miguelito.
Michael Parmenter, yep.
Mike Parmenter.
Yep.
So I was there helping out wherever I could, and having fun in the stopovers was, for me, the first experience of Volvo. I think for everyone who has done it, is unforgettable, no? Because you travel to different countries and you don't care about anything. You just want to live the experience and get the best out of it. So it was super, super special.
Hey, Neti, just one thing I've picked up on here. You said you bow after Cape Town. Conveniently, prior to Cape Town, the bowsprit fell off.
I was just about to say, can you tell us the story about going backwards with the A3?
You weren't close to it at that point in time?
No one was close to it.
I was on deck when everything happened. So I remember Santi Lange, Pachi, myself, and I don't know, it was...
Chicho? Chicho was there?
Chicho was there, true. Chicho came on deck. They gave him the price of the seamanship because he came on deck with sea boots, underpants, and a harness.
As the bowsprit flies past him with an A3 connected to it going backwards.
Yeah. So obviously we were selling, ripping, it was quite a big low, big depression, fucking sending it, and the boat was we can say now, it was a piece of shit. The rudders were too small, the keel was in the wrong place,
Neti, don't remember. I was going to get to that. We've got leg 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not dead to go yet.
Fuck. Because the whole fuck up with the program is that we did our training base in Alicante. I spent a year in Alicante.
The Mediterranean bubble.
Sailing there. Let's try the rudders. Let's make it smaller. And we ended up with a tiny little sheet of rudder. And when we went to Atlantic, we realized the boat was no way to drive it. So we start to fucking broach 20 times a day or something like that. I never broached that many times in my life. It was part of in this watch, only 4 times, only 5 times, fuck. So we were sailing, ripping, we broached, as always, and then the rudder disappeared, broke, and the next thing that happens with the boat capsize, with no rudder, the bobsleigh breaks, and all the bowsprit start to fly to leeward of the boat, ripping out from deck the tack line, the downfucker, with all the fittings. And the everything flies to leeward, and it stops in the daggerboard, which likely was up, otherwise it will just stop in the shrouds and we will break the mast. So we ended up with the boat capsize, everything flying to leeward, and we need to throw everything into the water. We get the sail off the lock, cut the halyard, cut the sheets, and everything out.
I do remember the day because I was actually the rigger on the boat, and I had to make all the ropes again, every rope on the boat, I might add. But one of the funniest parts was coming back and seeing both tack lines had peeled through the front of the boat, had gone perfect train tracks down through the bow and stopped at bulkhead A, and then locked off on bulkhead A. Then someone had obviously, it had gone all the way to the knot in through the clutches, and then it was the cut, and then it was gone. Yeah.
I'm more interested in that bobstay you made, mate.
Oh, that was not me. I can tell you that. That was a carbon thing, mate.
Yeah, que was a carbon link.
That was not me.
All right, shall we move on to the dagger boards?
That was the next leg. Yeah, it's true.
We made about 18 or 26 of those, didn't we?
No, well, in the next leg to India, we broke the dagger boards, both teams, the same day. The same day, fuck. I remember that too. But yeah.
Hey, it was fun. Come on.
Shit.
Anyway.
We broke a lot of shit in Telefonica Black. The boat was... It's true, I have to give them the credit, it was one of the first versions of the Volvo 70s. And after that, the boats became more and more reliable. Even over the 70 has been giving troubles when you push them. But yeah, in that race, we broke everything. Also with soft sails, I remember the leg from Cape Town to India. We spent 1 week in the South Ocean sailing because we have to go super east to after go up because of the weather. And fuck, we broke A7 we have at that time. The A2, we spent fucking a week stitching downstairs with the sewing machine, and we ran out of sails. And the sails after that season became way better. It's still 3DL sails by that time.
That's correct.
Imagine.
That's correct, yes.
We are very old guys. 3DL sails, what the fuck?
I don't like to say it, but yeah, you could say it that way.
For sure, still people, kids are listening. What's that? 3DL sails, what the fuck, man? That's old school.
I must admit, in my notes, Neti, this by all means was not part of my little thing about all the breakages. But there was one classic breakage, of course, the boat.
Oh.
Okay,
Well, that was later. That was when you had it, right?
No. Telly Black. No,
Oh, Telly Black.
Tele Black in Philippines. In Philippines, yeah. So
shipping it to Rio.
Fuck, that was probably one of the most windy days I ever seen in my life, to be honest. And the waves were huge. And there was a leg from Singapore to Qingdao.
Yes.
Upwind. And there was this tropical storm, something like that, in the Luzon Strait between Philippines and Taiwan. And most of the boats went into a bay in Philippines to let the weather pass through. And I remember some emails of different skippers saying that we need to stop the racing because it was going to be a fucking mission. And we went in, we put the stern and the trysail, and the skipper decided to keep going because we were in the lead of the fleet at that time. So this decided to push. And then we went to the bay, swapped for the trysail and the mission. Sorry, for the trysail and the stern jib. And we went out, started to go into the huge waves, 40 meters waves or something like that. After a couple of waves, the boat literally broke in half. Like we have a crack from the how you call the shear line, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
All along the hull until the center of the boat, inside and outside, and there was a bit of water leaking. We scared the shit out. We dropped everything, started to go downwind. And we lashed the boom onto against the headboard car to try to avoid to have America 1, because to everyone's mind came up the idea of having an America 1. Everyone survival suit, except Roger, which is a fucking tough guy. I only saw Roger once wearing the survival suit. I will tell you a story later if you want. So basically we went downwind to Philippines, and we spent a week in Philippines, which was quite fun, I can say. A lot of things happening there in Philippines.
Yeah, it stays on tour.
It stays in Philippines, whatever happened in Philippines. And then we lose the next race, the next leg, luckily, because I think the boat was not ready for it. And luckily we broke the boat in half there and not in the middle of the lesson, because otherwise we'll be a fucking mayor.
So then that boat and the Delta Lloyd make their way to Rio. And then it's quite a benign race for the rest of the way. So it was the first half of that race. There was a bit on, let's say. So, welcome to the Volvo Ocean Race, Nettie.
Exactly. That was my welcome to the Volvos Ocean Race. And I thought, it's going to be always like that. I understand why people hate it and love it at the same time, because it's very, very tough. It's very tough.
Yeah. But the beauty was it got better from there. Obviously, you won a leg. And that video, I think to this day, and being a part of it with you guys, that video is, for me, still gives me goosebumps. It was just, when you guys crossed that finish line, it was, really, really cool.
Yeah, I remember that leg. And I think it was super nice, because it's true, we're very experienced crew, and we have a fame of being not a, I don't know how to say, super pro team. We have a party fame as well on the team. Like, we were party hard in every stopover, and it's actually something that hurt me in my future of selling, that fame that we gain on this program, and to show everyone that we can keep up the level and fight against the big boys and winning them a leg, even it was a short one or whatever, but we still win the leg.
Yeah.
It was a super happy moment, and I'm super proud of it. So yeah, that's true.
I just remember Javi when he crossed the line, Javi Plata running around Della Plata, in my professional opinion.
In my personal opinion,
he just was running around the boat like he was just a kid, just going crazy. So it was a good time for sure.
Yeah,
good one.
Now, there's just one little highlight of this race we have to talk about.
Oh, here we go.
And it'll probably never get experienced again. But the finish that we had in to St. Petersburg was like nothing anyone could ever imagine. And just a reminder there, Nettie, we had to do those couple of little laps around the bloody out of St. Petersburg, and then sit there and wait most of the day whilst they just kept handing over bottles of vodka to us.
Yeah. That was
and then take the boats in via these bridges in St. Petersburg that had never been open during the daylight hours for our grand arrival. And the streets were packed. Like, it was 10, 12 deep the whole way along for kilometres and kilometres, like as far as the eye could see, of people seeing the boats coming. It was sensational.
Did you do that leg?
What's your memories there?
Did you do that leg, Bossy? Did you?
Yeah.
On Delta Lloyd?
Delta Lloyd,
Yeah.
Well, as I said, for me it was a hard day, because in Sweden I got tooth infection. I was super fucked, and I almost didn't make up to the leg. And likely, and I have to say that thanks to who is now my wife, I pushed, and she told me, you should fucking push and do it, and you're gonna be 2 days and do it. So I was very, very sick with fever and with drugs and everything. So I struggled, but I finished the leg, and when I arrived, I slept for almost 40 hours in a row because I was super fucked. So yeah. And then I get better for the prize giving party. The last prize giving party was probably the most crazy party in the whole story of the Volvo. And then I was 2 days fucked again. So it was in 5 days I only stand awake for 2 or something like that. The rest is sleeping after the big party. So yeah, it was emotional, this arrival. I remember the opening bridges, and it was my first finish of the race, and family, friends there, the Ñeti fans were there. And
the Ñeti fans, there was a lot of them, mate.
Yeah.
How cool was that? To have the Ñeti fans?
I'm super proud to have a fan club, man. Not many cities has.
Oh, that was one of the funniest things ever. Yeah. Righto.
So
we've done the first Volvo Ocean Race.
Kelly Black, and then on to the race no one can lose on the next Telefonica. Well, the race that you guys should not lose.
Yeah.
all the pressure. You've got the boat of the century. Started the race off just absolute heroes and just super strong, but didn't manage to bring it home in the end. That, as far as the campaign's concerned, probably a bit disappointing in the end.
It was, yeah. So the campaign with Telefonica, as you say, the boat was a beast. Like, we have to also say that Groupama and Puma, they were as good as us, pretty much.
Yeah.
Full funding programs and super fast. That was probably with the last race with most of the teams were full funded and proper teams, and each team choose its design because Abu Dhabi was a fuck up. Camper, it was maybe they started kind of late and the boat wasn't that fast. Even at the end, it was faster. But the three teams, Groupama, Puma, and us, we were up there and we did programs like full on. And I think one of the biggest problems we have is we overcook us too early. And before the start of the race, we already have done so many miles, so many hours of training, so many performance, and the boat was, by that time, the fastest by far compared to the others. No, that's why we won three legs in a row, with the including the you remember what the neutralized race in Maldives because of the pirates, and then we have a short leg from the
You
one.
had to go on the ships, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was like 5 legs. We won 5 of them. Even it was the two. So there was the first leg we won. Then we won to Maldives. We finished, I think, first in the trip from this harbor in Abu Dhabi to Abu Dhabi. Then the next day, the next one we leave from Abu Dhabi to this harbor, and then the ship to Maldives, and we went to China. So everyone was on fire, and to be honest, if you ask me today, I still don't know what happened. I think it was a lack of management or something like that. Like the mood on the boat changed, and I don't know. We lose our, how you say in English, or Jojo, or Mojo, no Mojo.
Mojo. Yeah.
It was a Mojo, and everything went bad. And for any reason, we didn't knew how to get out of the hole, and with the big fuck ups like the import in Brazil that we were leading, and we went to the wrong mark, and we ended at last. And we also have bad luck, and Groupama has good luck because the first leg he finished last 4 days behind everyone, or 5 days behind everyone, and Puma broke the mast, Abu Dhabi broke the boat, and he still finished fourth. They broke the mast in the Southern Ocean leg, and they still finished the leg. They almost sank the boat into Auckland, and they still won the leg. So they were super lucky, super good team, and at the same time we were unlucky because, for example, in the Southern Ocean leg, when we broke the boat, we were fighting to win the leg, but the boat has a huge lamination, and we had to stop in Cape Horn to fix the boat.
Yeah.
Right. We almost still won that leg because we finished second. And I remember, I won't forget never that meeting. So basically we went into Cape Horn in a little bay behind the island, and there was this boat at the short-term rent. We anchored close to them, and they have a piece of the hull ready to go into the boat, and they fix the lamination. And we have a meeting, and Iker was saying, guys, we need to push because the weather is super good for us, and we can win this leg. And we were thinking, fuck man, we're gonna stop 14 hours, the boat is fucked. Let's go there and finish. Relax. No, we have to push. And everyone under the table, hitting each other. This guy, he's lost it. And then we left, and we have super good weather, and we're gaining 100 miles in this report, 100 miles, and we ended up match racing Puma into the finish. So, credit to Iker in that sense, because he never, never give up. He always pushed. Sometimes a bit too much, but in that day, he was right.
Mm-hmm. Always full of batteries, young Iker.
Yes, he's intense. Full on man. Good sailor, super good sailor.
And then, of course, that then leads into Mapfre when the Volvo 65 came on. Came into play. And, obviously being involved with the Volvo 65, but and it was a step down from the 70 from a performance point of view to the 65, but produced some pretty close racing. And especially that first race of the 65s was certainly a lot more full on than the next race. But that, put you guys with that same campaign led by Pedro Campos into building a pretty good team, which then led into, a chance to win in the last edition, which didn't quite happen.
Yeah. Again, we did the first 65 Volvo. The first Volvo with 65 in 14-15. It was super late program, and it was just to cover the books, and because they need to be a Spanish team at them, and it started super late, and we were not ready. And we did normal things, like nothing special. And then for the next one, for the last Volvo, it's true that we have again a proper program. Xavi with as skipper. So basically, Xavi can skipper because in the previous Volvo, Iker was busy with his NACRA campaign.
Yep.
And they agreed, Xavi and Iker, that they will split the role of skipper. And Xavi did his first leg as a skipper from Hong Kong, I think, where Hong Kong or China to Auckland. And we won that leg. It's the only leg we won. And everyone, that day we realized, Xavi is
the man.
Super
He
was always the quiet achiever, though. The quiet achiever.
Yes, like Xavi is. If Iker will want, he will be the skipper no matter what, because he was the leader of the team with Pedro Campos always. But it happened that he wanted to leave to the NACRA campaign, and he went to the Volvo, so need to find a replacement. And the replacement ended up being fucking good, which is Xavi. And Xavi is a super special guy because he's been through every part in the boat. He started his first Volvo as a nipper, and people giving him shit. He makes his climb up the ladder, and so he knows how every area in the project works. And he's a guy who listens to you, understands you, and he's very empathic.
Very true.
I don't know if it's the right word or not.
One of the gentlemen of the sport. There's no question.
So basically he ran the program for the last Volvo, and again we follow the same schematics done with Telefonica, with good preparation, testing. 15 days sailing, and then they went rest and trying to be with more rested than we were with Telefonica, and it ended up with doing very well and fighting for the win. We have very bad luck, especially in the South Atlantic when we broke the track of the mast, which is a thing I totally pissed me off because it's a problem we knew was going to happen, and we told Volvo that was going to happen, and they didn't want to help us on that. And I think that was the reason that at the end we lost the Volvo, because we ended up in the last leg fighting 3 boats for the victory, but we lost the Volvo in the legs before, especially in the South Russian leg when it was double points and we finished last, I think.
Just going into that last leg, Xavi. There was
Ñeti.
kind of Xavi. Sorry, my mistake. Ñeti. That last leg, 3 of you on equal points.
Yep.
The intensity must have been through the roof just to really that last little push. How'd that pan out as a team? I mean, well, it came down to that last job who went inside, basically, right?
Yeah, well, it was funny because normally, the last leg of the Volvo is a pony show. The boat who has won has already everything, and we have a mark inside the harbor of Arus in the fucking harbor where we were anchoring last time the CGP. We were the mark inside, so it was a crazy course. Like we knew it was gonna be a shit fight and crazy, and it was super windy and wavy. So we started late. We did super city start, which normally we don't, but we did super city start. We start last. And I remember Patan drove for 13 hours in a row until we put ourselves in the first position. Patan kept driving, and he did super well. And then we went to this marking into Aarhus, went up, went all around Denmark, and then last reaching, super windy. We were first by then, up to the hack. And then there was this crucial zone in the hack, before going to the hack, that you can either go inside, close to the shore, or go outside of it was a wind mills area. You have to be away. So at the beginning, we were going to go inside. Donfen was early in the back, like 1 mile or half a mile behind. And Brunel was a bit further back, like 7 miles back. So there was a moment to choose, like, where you go, inside or outside. We ran a routing, and the routing said that the outside route was 30 minutes faster than the inside route. So they decided to go. We knew that Donfen will do the opposite thing to us. If we go inside, he will go outside, because otherwise it was no way they were going to pass us. Mm-hmm. So we decided to go outside, and it ended up paying off the inside route. And they beat us by 20 minutes, I think I remember at the end. So super painful. And
rip your heart out and step on the floor.
Yeah. There's those 2 moments in the Volvos, all the balls I've done, that if I see a video, I just don't see it. Like, it was the last leg on Telefonica, arriving to Lorient, when we broke the 2 riders in a row. And this moment, like, I prefer not to see, because I don't feel good about it. So it's been super painful, because after all the effort you have done, not only sailing, working hours of your life away from your house, family, hard times, all comes down to this little decision, and you took the wrong one, obviously. It's always painful for everyone. So yeah, hard times. And the one Telefonica with 2 riders was the same. When we broke the 2 riders in a row, we broke one rudder, we changed it, we passed everyone away, and we broke the second rudder, and then we lost the regatta. So very painful, I want to.
But it's made you a better man. You're doing a lot of sailing since, and go on, boys. Yeah,
which takes me to great decision.
Yeah.
The Skorpios.
Yes,
you've jumped on one of the elite boats of anyone's generation.
But
tell us.
Just before you do, just add a little bit of detail, because obviously Neti won the Hobart on Comanche. So
no, that's wrong. That's wrong. I never been Comanche. I think that's one of the things wrong in the Wikipedia thing or whatever. I have done 3 Hobarts, Infotrack. No, Loyal Perpetua was the first.
Yes.
With Big Tony, and we did the record that year.
Yeah.
And then after that, I have done Infotrack twice.
Okay. I thought you had all this inside information on Comanche you'd be able to compare when you're on the Skorpios. So let's go back to the Skorpios.
They do it this way, I met, bud.
So, well, basically, the Skorpios is a new design from Hankei, the Club Swan 125. It's a program which has been there for a few years. They took 4 years to build this beast. And it was, for me, it's been a super good project. First, because it gave me a job in a year that was not so good. It was last year, because I spent 3 months, 1 month in Finland, or 2 months in Finland, 1 month in UK, preparing the boat to put it in the water. And the boat is a beast. It's going to take the boat a while to put at the 100% of the performance, because in the MLC, it was the first time we kind of pushed the boat properly, and we realized how big it is. Like, there's little details, like to bring the tack forward, we use halyards and pull forward. You can move by your hand. The furler is huge. Everything, the loads are huge. Like, it's like a super mega yacht, and we raise it like a Volvo 70, or try to at least. So the boat is a beast. And then the guys have been doing a lot of work from the sea race until now. We cross Atlantic in 6 days, 7 hours, cruising, no problem. And then we did the 600 and we beat the Comanche, which was a big thing because it was a course perfect for him and they have their conditions and we're very happy with that.
Just to put it into perspective, off the top of your head, Ñeti, do you have a weight of the mainsail, for example?
Yeah, I think the mainsail is 700 kilos or something like that, 600 something.
So just for the listeners, a Volvo Ocean 65 mainsail from memory is about 100 kilos.
For to make you an idea, the length of the headboard car, the head of the main, the top button is 8 meters. Huge. It's huge.
The gaff batten in the top of the mainsail.
Yeah, the gaff boom.
Yeah. Probably is a boom.
It's like a J80 up there.
J80 bowsprit.
Well,
yeah.
Or an actual J80.
Yeah, it's going to say it's only. It's basically we could put an X2 up there.
Yeah, it's huge.
Amazing.
It's a monster.
Simply amazing.
And super good people involved. So, which also was a good call from the skipper of the team, Fernando. Who, funny enough, the skipper from Skorpios is the same skipper I have in Telefonica Black, and also the big guy there is Pepe Rives, who runs all the technical area. And
there's some good names there. There's some good names there, isn't there?
But we have Tony Matter, Brad Jackson, Patan, all the rock stars you can imagine. They are there, and that's why the boat is going up and up very quickly.
Have you made it out of the bow? Or are they
no, not yet. I'm still on the bow.
Still on the bow. Because you're a big, strong man, and that boat
it.
needs a big, strong man. So that's why you're not getting out of there.
One of the cool things I remember when a boat was being built was the photo from the foil room, where they move the foil across. That must be incredible to see. That thing must have so much loads on. I'd be scared to go into that room.
Everything, as I say, everything is a huge thing in this boat. The one kill cylinder is like 600 kilos. Just the cylinder. The size of the pin of the cylinder is, I don't know, it's huge. It's everything. I know the winch is like the load and everything is.
Does it bring out a bit of fear? I mean, is there a fear factor when you get on the boat?
Well, of course, and now comes down to this guy who passed away last week, and I want to use this time to send all the best and all my thoughts with the family of Sam. And it was one of the things you need to be always aware that in this boat is super dangerous, and you have to expect anything can break, and if that break is game over for you. So of course, I always keep in mind when I put myself in a boat, and even sometimes it's impossible to know because sometimes things like you will never expect, like it was the case of Sam. And it's dangerous. And I was freaked out with safeties on the halyards on the when you put a halyard on up and put a safety on the halyard to avoid falling down and things like that. Super careful with all these kind of things.
So what about the speeds on the Skorpios? Like what sort of speeds are you doing?
Inside.
Boat speed.
The speeds. Okay, the speeds. I think the boat upwind does like around 14 knots upwind. Always.
Just always?
It's not a boat who does high peaks, like doesn't go over 30 very easy.
Okay.
We reach 30 is quite easy. But downwind, 24, 25, no problem. And quite constant. This is the good boat of the boat is the averages are super high.
Yes.
As I say, we cross Atlantic now in 6 days, 7 hours. Yeah. And we were taking kind of easy, especially we wanted to test. So we were pushing during the day with the right sail and full crew and pushing. And during the night, we were taking a bit more easy and slow down a little bit, and I still did the record and no problem. It's a good boat.
Just imagine.
That itself, it is certainly a good boat. Now, not sure if you're allowed to say this or not. Has the AIS been turned off on Skorpios?
No.
Are you allowed to tell us where it is? Has the boat been seized?
The boat is in Europe now, as far as I know. And it's a special situation, and it's bad for the industry if we think about it. And I know, for example, I have my opinion that, of course, we have to stop this war, and it's all fucked up. But I'm not sure that some things that ISAF is doing is the right thing to do, because, for example, in Skorpios, which is now in Europe, and the owner haven't been living in Russia for 12 years. He has a European passport. He's fully from Monaco, and all his assets are out of Russia. He has no money in Russia. He's Russian though, so I don't know if he's going to be allowed to sail or not. But for example, on the boat we have this Russian guy, Victor, family 2 kids or family 1 kid, and you talk about him, and he says, "Right, I not support the war. I don't give a fuck about Putin. I don't care. But now, in fact, because I cannot work, if I go to Russia, I might need to go to war. When I don't want, because half of my family is Ukrainian. I cannot keep my family out of Russia because they're not allowed to travel. I cannot use my credit cards, so all my money is fucked. But it's a tough situation what I mean is, at the end of the day, is people paying for that when they shouldn't. So, of course, it's a very hard call and difficult call, and it's people suffering much more than this guy, of course, in Ukraine and living the war, which is very painful. But I don't know what's the way to approach, but for sure, guys like this guy, Russian guy, is paying things that he should not pay, and you say, okay, but you can go and protest. You go to protest in Russia, you go 15 years to prison.
Don't you see it for a long time?
It's easy for us to say, go there and protest. But you go 15 years to jail is not nice. No?
Yeah.
So it's difficult moments.
Well, hopefully, word has it, they're only considered the Oglies, as we call them, the Ogli Arcs, if their boats are over 200 feet long. So, fortunately enough, he's only at 125. We'd hate to see the bill, though.
Well,
we'd hate to see the bill, though.
Oh, he's hard.
I cannot believe that the very, very rich guys, they might lose money, but it still won't affect to them. Of course, they take your boat out, but we need to find a way to stop this, and I hope this goes through quickly, and that's it.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Ñeti. We're not going to ask Jordan his thought on the war, okay? Because we've only got 10 minutes left, and we'll be running about 20 minutes over if we do. So, so what's next, mate? Coming into the European summer, TPs, RCs. Going to San Fran. Is there a Spanish GP team? What's the story?
I did the last season. I did 4 events with them, and I really loved the boat and the experience of sailing on the boat and the team. But unfortunately, I have many other classes with other programs I sail with, so I couldn't make it, and I had to stop sailing with them. I might go join them for an event if they need someone or whatever, but at the moment we keep it like that. So this year I will sail on my carpet the whole season, which is a super cool boat. And I will sail a couple of races with the TP52, Skorpios if it happens, and then that's it. Pretty much, it's already full season. I've been 2 months on tour already, so I'm looking forward to go home. To be honest.
Is the wife with you?
No, she's home skiing. They were skiing last weekend.
Lucky
girl.
Bless her. Say hello to her when you speak to her.
Of course.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what's the feeling amongst like all the crew out there? Like, we've obviously had a couple of bad years, but is the feeling that we're getting our mojo back in the professional sailing scene, as far as you being a professional, having jobs, your peers around you? We're kind of getting that feeling back?
I think it was feeling like that. Like everyone close to me or my friends, sailors, they all have full-on programs for this year. But unfortunately, I heard already a couple of programs that stopped because of the war. The closest one is Comanche.
Yep.
Sure.
Stop, and the boat is already sold, as far as I know.
Oh, is it?
Another Swan 115, I don't remember the name, they cancel racing because they don't feel good to go racing in the Med when the war is there. So
Yeah, sure.
I'm sure there will be programs that will be cancelled, or this war will affect us. And as I said before, it's super bad for the industry because we have two tough couple of years. There was a very, very tough year on the year of the COVID with no racing at all. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know what to say. I hope it gets better and we can race this year in the Med with a lot of races and a lot of boats. Like Najita is called Bullet and it's full on program, and there's many events and many boats, but we just need to be able to race them.
Yep. Bloody oath.
What about if I gave you any amount of money, mate, which boat would you go and buy for yourself?
For myself?
Yeah.
A powerboat, motorboat, man. No way I go sailing, man.
Yeah. Good answer.
Yeah. It's the way, isn't it?
A motorboat that fits all my things, my moth, my windsurf, my kitefall and everything.
Yeah.
There's a few of them around now.
Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it? Like I always wonder how many pro sailors would go cruising after spending a lifetime sailing, and racing, whether they'd actually go, yeah, you know what, I'm off going cruising now, just to take in.
There's a few. Nico did it, I think. Talpio was her manager. He was also a Volvo guy. He bought a catamaran now. And
Mick Model left years ago and went. He never.
Exactly.
He's still going, I think, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah. Adam Minoprio is fully living the hippie life, I think. No.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. He has a boat and he's cruising around and he goes from the boat to the events he does.
Canute did it.
Canute, yeah. Right.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I won't. Not at the moment. Maybe for the war, I need to find a boat and escape.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
That's it. Very cool.
Wow. Well, there we go. What else, boys? Is there anything else that
we're
stands
near
out
the end of our time, BP.
I know, but
I haven't said much because I've been scribbling down every time Neti said the swear words. I've got to edit them out.
Sorry, I didn't know I cannot swear.
No, Neti, you're definitely allowed to swear. And the best thing is in podcasts, it doesn't matter anyway. But because you start with a Spanish accent, it's not really like a swear word anyway.
That's right. It didn't
Awesome.
no, it's perfect. And look, thanks for coming on, mate. I hope you had a good time and great to catch up with you. And like you say, I hope it does get back to normal quickly. But you still got a bit of sailing on, so when you're out there, just keep doing what you do, eh?
Okay, guys. Thank you for inviting me.
Awesome, Neti, and having kind of come through the ranks alongside you, whether it was sailing or from the shore side or whatever it was, it's bloody good to have a good catch up, and it's always good to catch up and have a beer and have a chat. So thanks for joining us.
Thanks to you guys. It's been super good.
Cheers, buddy.
See you, mate. We did warn you.
That's all that can be said. Beep.
What a great man. We actually have a really good connection into the team, the Spanish teams as sailors. We get on really well with them. I mean, we had obviously with the Volvo being based in Spain, we had a lot of Spanish friends. I think is the best way to describe our lives. It's good.
And you kind of get used to the way that we mentioned it at the start that it's of the warning, but it is a Spanglish thing. The way they speak is very very innocent in the way they take on their English. So that's the way to class it, I think.
To tell you the truth, I'm amazed I don't swear more often.
You do,
especially in Spanish, with teachers like Chuni, Gonzalo Infante,
and even Ñeti, he's been a bit of a Spanish teacher.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I love it.
Cool.
And not to mention our female friends.
Here, here. All right, we'll leave that there.
Yeah, I was just going to say, no, I meant our staff in the container in the office.
Oh, I thought you were talking about my Spanish girlfriends. No, okay, sorry.
I was just talking about, we got some great colleagues and they're
Hi, darling.
charge.
Absolutely.
All right. Right, club events. What can we talk about here, BP?
Well, I mean, I can give it a bit of a crack. We've had a bit of a fun weekend with the Gold Racing League. You've probably seen a bit about that. I did whack a thing up on ours just for a bit of a laugh. Gold Racing League is effectively the Etchels, of which we have been talking about a lot in the past, in which you obviously know what I'm talking about.
So talk us through it. This was the third act of three.
Yeah, they had a regatta at the start of the year, and then obviously this is rolled into into a points court, which is going on. There's another one coming up in April the 11th, I think it is.
Yeah,
to decide the overall winner. And Gold Racing League is basically, well, we can say it. It is obviously the owners have got together. The unfortunate owners have got together of the M11s and said we still want to go sailing, so we're sailing. And
bravo.
It's open invitation, so you don't just because you don't have one of the boats, you're allowed to sail against us, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that one of the most, the biggest thing about it is just the names that are involved. I mean, the Etchels fleet, when all this stuff happened, was severely affected by the loss of some pretty handy sailors, and that's probably the worst thing to come out of it. I mean.
So yeah, enough of that boring shit. How'd you go? How'd you go?
Oh, I'm really happy. Really happy with the weekend. Yeah, I mean, it was very difficult conditions. I did send you a video earlier, and I did say my arms were 3 foot longer at the start.
How'd you go? That's what I'm getting at.
We got a fourth, I think.
Okay. And what did David have in the last event?
Yeah, they won it.
Right. And where were you during this time?
Yeah, I was in Indonesia.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, just checking.
Yeah. No, it's all good. It's all good. I'm very happy with what happened. To be very serious, Ian Murray took out the weekend.
Yes.
And John Bertrand for second, I think, and then Mark Roberts, Fu Manchu from Adelaide.
There you go.
Some pretty handy sailors there. And I mean, the competition. I mean, we're talking seconds between everyone. It was fantastic.
Yeah, good, nice.
And then that leads into the last event, of which we're still holding 1 point slender lead, but that'll probably get munched away.
We'll see. Hey, while we're on Etchels, actually, big shout out to Bruce Snowdy and Jesse Mitten for taking out the Victorian state titles at time of recording last week. The state titles had not been won, but they took that out. So big shout out to those boys.
Yep.
They obviously bought a Mold 11 boat.
Clearly.
Here we go.
Here we go. While we're on regattas, another reminder, Queensland kitefalling and wingfalling champs at my yacht club, my Lullaby Yacht Club.
Are you doing them?
Friday, 8th April.
Are you ready?
Sunday. Hey?
Are you
Have
ready?
you been training?
Been training?
Boys, I've worked out a few things. I've got some mastery. There's one problem I've got that I haven't worked out how to fix.
Stand up.
I'm too fat. I think I'm too fat for my foils. I can't get them out of the water. I just
can't get her up.
I need 20 knots to get. I just can't get it on the plane yet. I'm just a big.
Can't
lad.
get it up and can't get it out of the water. Hey,
I fill up a lot of space. No, it's going good. I just need more wind. Anyway, but I'll be there.
Just got to lower your CG. Maybe do a headstand.
I've worked out a lot of things though, like that. All that time, it gives me a lot of time to think. I've done the analysis, so I reckon I'll be a pretty good coach right now. Just not the falling bit, fly on a wing. Anyway, all right.
That's good. That's good.
Move on. Jack Lloyd Memorial, the Jack Lloyd Memorial Listener of the Week.
Yes.
Yeah, this was a good one.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's good for us. Probably not good for the listeners at this point in time.
No, we've got a few. We've got a few good ones.
It's kind of good. It's kind of good for the listeners because we can get them involved in the story a bit.
Yeah. So Russell Morris, I want to mention him. He gave us a great big long email, but the gist of it is, are we focusing in on the IQ foil, the windsurfing thing? We haven't got a specific episode dedicated to that yet, but we're not far away from having that done. So, yeah, Russell, we listened to you, mate. It's a good one. I wish people had just come in on Cheers at Barkarati. We've got messages everywhere. I get lost. Got a great message from Hendrik Rydell. So I'm guessing Hendrik and I is going to be my new best mate. He's going to be at Sale GP. He's talking about all his experience. He's just trying to make it as a young pro, and the whole thing. He's gone down the sail making path. He is doing some volunteer work at Sale GP. So that'll be cool.
There we go. Good on him.
Well done, Henrik.
And then any others for you boys, or should we just go into the winner?
No,
Straight into the winner.
Straight into the winner, but try and build it up, build it up a bit.
We got a great email. Like, it's really funny. It was really interesting. A lot of love and care and thought has gone into it. Everything about it was brilliant. The only issue we have with it is that the person sent it in is trying to do a surprise for another person. Okay. And
Correct.
We don't want to ruin the surprise, but they said some really funny stuff, and we love it. So all I'll say is that the person who we're corresponding with at the moment, that person knows who they are. And as soon as the surprise is done and it's all out, we'll read you the message. It was a good one. But the listener of the week is a secret this week.
Yep, the secret listener of the week.
Secret listener of the week.
But I can say, just send me some deets and I'll shoot you off a merchandise pack.
I got the email address, so we can do that.
Perfect.
But I was just going to say their partner. It sounds like a good couple, is what I'm going to say.
Here. Absolutely. Bravo to them. Look forward to hearing from them, so we can actually read that letter out, because it's
It's a bit of a trigger finger. That
time with Bice.
I didn't think I'd touched the button yet. Sorry, mate.
all clear. Just got into the chin jive. No problem. Look, before I start, on a serious note, boys, we lost one of our own, Sam Richmond. Lost his life early days in the St. Bart's or pre-regatta. Due to, I'm not entirely sure of the exact circumstances, but he was clearly loved within the industry. Of trying to grasp whether we did come across each other at some point in time, which I'm sure we did. But clearly loved by many, North Sales employee out of Gosport. So a big loss. And seeing the amount of people that would various posts and various tributes over the last week. So
he was in the Jetu stable, wasn't he?
Well, absolutely, and we're sorry to hear. Now, gents, I've got a big topic here, and when I mean big, I mean 85 metres big. Not sure if you saw it this week. This is what grabbed my eye.
Right.
Roy Heisman, however you want to pronounce it, to build the world's largest sloop at 85 metres.
Jesus.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Jesus, all right. So,
is it foiling?
Well, it's foiling, and it's probably be launched in about 17 years' time.
Yeah.
Then falling will be dead anyway by then.
So Manny Frere's design.
Oh, yeah. G'day, Manny.
Manny.
We should get him on the show. Why haven't we got Manny on the show?
Oh, you're right, actually. We should. And the Wetzel's Brown team are doing the interior. But can you 85 metres, blokes?
That's massive.
I can't even comprehend. I mean,
where do you go with it?
And a sloop, for that matter. How's the rig going to be on this bastard?
Well, for it to not sit in the shitter all, it's got to be big, got to be up there.
Absolutely.
But, what ports can you get into? I wonder what it'll draw.
None.
It's just going to be stuck out in the middle. It's a ship.
It is a ship.
It's a ship.
It's got 2 megawatt battery bank.
Wow. It'll have to have a lifting keel. It's going to have a lifting keel for sure.
Electric propulsion,
Well,
yeah,
that
definitely
way-
got to have.
That way it can get into the Cruising Yacht Club of South Australia.
Well, that's right.
I've got a suspicion it won't make it through the entrance at Malulabar.
I don't even think
Ron Dole doing the rig.
I don't even think it would get in through backstairs passage in Kangaroo Island.
Yeah.
85 metres, guys.
85 metres. Like, what is that in American money?
In American kilometres an hour.
Yeah.
That's a good question off the top of my head. It's got to be about 300 feet, right?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah,
So-
it would be.
Imagine getting around the top mark and we're going to do a drive set.
Well, the problem is you'd be, like,
How would the sort of the sneak be? The pre-hoist.
Well, I was
the pole
watching
round.
one of the Jays coming into the bottom mark the other day in St. Bart's.
Yep.
They started the takedown at 3.5 minutes out.
oh. I thought you were going to say the opposite. You get your bow to the mark and then you take it down because you got so long before your stern goes past the mark.
Haven't made your turn yet.
Like,
So confirmed 280 feet.
280 feet.
Yeah.
That's big.
You'd be riding bikes backwards and forwards. They'd use the cyclist, but except you need the wheels on them so you can go forward to the bow and back.
Brings a whole new meaning to the old saying that every foot over 30 feet is a big foot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's just say that I'm going to put it on public record. If you are the bloke or the person getting this boat built, Barkarati will do a live episode on your boat.
On Barkarati. We'll actually do it during a regatta.
Yeah.
Around the top mark.
Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah.
Actually,
In the studio. The onboard studio.
Why don't we do 10 or 20?
Whatever they want, mate.
So I don't have anything else here as hot time with bikes, but this just blew my mind, the amount of what I read about it. So if anyone interested, go to royalhoistman.com and you'll see the information there. And funnily enough, how they've kind of artist impression got it lined up next to a couple of big wind turbines.
Yeah, right.
So that rig's going to be
Insane.
That's just insane.
It is insane. All right, cool. Very cool. Before we talk more sailing, I've got a random philosophical question for you blokes.
Hello?
Okay. I've been doing a lot of work on my house and I've been, just rushed out of the garden to get into and do this. You wear things out and I've worn out my rubbish bin, right? My wheelie bin that you put out the front yard.
Where's your bin?
No, where you really been?
I've been on holidays.
Okay. All right. So here's the question: if your bin's ready to go to the dump, how do you put your bin out to get it picked up?
Oh.
If this is absolutely hilarious, you should say this.
What?
I've got an answer.
How do you do it?
I've got an answer because I am not lying to you right now.
Because before you put your bin
Hang
out
on.
and they shake it and empty it, put it back down.
No, I've got the answer. Out the front of my house right now is a broken bin, right? It's come out of our group of bins and it's parked in the middle of the sort of road where a car park should be. And someone has got a big, huge, because there's not no lid on it, someone's got a big cardboard thing and stuck it on and wrote a letter saying, "Dear Mr. Garbage Man, this lid has no lid. This bin has no lid. Can you please throw it in the bin?"
But the thing, I mean, councils... The councils are pretty good. They send people around to repair them now. Like I've already repaired one once, but it was just a philosophical question. How do you put your bin out for it to be picked up?
And I answered it.
Yeah. Well,
you put a sign on the garbage man, for the garbage man to take it.
There you go.
Oh, confusing time if you're a garbo, though.
You're scratching your head going,
Hang on, that can't be right.
Are they taking the piss? Are they serious?
Has the neighbour just put a sign on because there's a war going on? I need
a turf war.
It's
anyway, well, there you go. That's good timing.
It's not easy. The decision's not easy. Right. Whilst we're talking, we'll mention the Australian champs. Just regatta was just been on.
Listen up.
Yeah.
Okay. Was taken out by Alexander Bijkerk.
That's him.
Bijkerk,
Yep.
the knee jerk. Followed by Tim Davies, David Clark.
Yeah.
So Clarkey came through with the third. Pretty good racing from everyone. Equal second, equal third. Then we had an equal fifth, I believe it was. Equal sixth.
Pretty tight, pretty good fleet.
Yeah,
This was, as we said last week, which was the follow-on from Age's episode, that there's a lot of people getting back into it.
Big resurgence.
Yeah. And
33 boats.
That's right. Relatively light conditions, and the young fella was obviously probably slightly smaller than the rest of the fleet, but he did sail really well. They were blown away. Actually, he came first time on an OK, goes out and nails it. He's with the Australian sailing team, I believe. So
very cool.
Anyway.
Very cool. Beauty, good work. Sail GP is on this weekend, team.
You're right, it is too.
In San Fran.
Yes. You're probably not far off. You've been working on your on all your lines there, Jordan.
I haven't
Your
even
little
had a
fake
chance.
Seppo accent, our mate Jimmy's doing at the minute. Yeah. So we had a bit of correspondence about.
There was a bit of correspondence about who's going to win.
The elephant in the room, as they called it.
Yes.
But finally, there's a bit of banter out there, which is good, and I'm expecting you, Jordan, to get these bastards really fired up.
Okay.
Over there.
But I do want to say that you're right. There has been more banter in their promotional material that's been heading out.
Yep.
Clearly listening to Baccarati.
There's no question. Question.
We have laid that on hard, and they've listened.
Well, two out of the three have been on, so they must be picking on the one that hasn't.
Yeah.
Actually, I forgot about that. But so we've got, because the 2 out of 3 BP's referring to is obviously they're talking to the skippers of the Australian team, Tom Slingsby, skipper of the US team, Jimmy Spittle, and
Australia 2.
Japanese
Australia
skipper,
3.
Nathan Outridge. So basically, I think the way the points lie, it's pretty much a given that they'll be the 3 fighting off in that final race. For those
which was the banter we had on our messenger. I think Sean Wagner got involved. Again, he gets mentioned. Got involved.
For those who don't know, Sail GP, it's 5 races leading up into deciding the final boats, but it's the last race of the year is the tally of all the points. So where you stand for the whole season, those top 3 boats go into one race. Winner takes all.
Well,
$1 million.
I've looked at the weather because I live on the Sunshine Coast, and it's 20 odd degrees at night time here, and it's 20 to 30 degrees, mid 20s to 30s in the daytime. We don't get much less than that. 8 or 9 degrees at night time, and 17 or 18 degrees is the top day, and down to 15. But it looks pretty much
breezy, standard San Fran.
No, 12 to sort of 15. So it'll be good. It'll be good, hard racing. So I think, but it's west or southwest for the days. So I can't remember the actual angle of the way it lies. Does it lie west? I think that way it lies east-west, doesn't it? That part of
couldn't tell you.
Just around the Marina district there, in front of St Francis. It's does it lie east-west? I have to look. Anyway, but that's the way the winds are. So it'll be pretty good tactical breeze. Should be good.
And the actual the showdown or the race for $1 million is what's that on the Sunday? So our Monday morning. Is that correct? Yeah.
Correct, yep.
Yeah. So, stay tuned.
Can't wait.
It's, it's last year was a massive race. Jordan, we watched it, perched in our little hotel in Genoa.
That's right.
Not last year or the previous year, season 1. We'll be watching with bated breath, and I reckon an Aussie will take it home.
Yeah. I think that was what I said. I'll whack a fitty. I'll give you a fitty for it to happen.
Yeah.
On an Aussie.
Cool. Good luck over there, mate. We look forward to hearing all about it.
Yeah.
And wave the flag.
Yeah, no, and all the Baccarati people that are floating around. Just look for a big dorky redhead bloke who's
Looks like Jim Courier.
looks like Jim Courier.
And I dare you to walk up to him and say, "G'day, Jim."
If you ever ask yourself, what's Jim Courier commentating on the sailing for? It's actually Jordan Spencer.
Yeah.
Yep. And this is 100% true.
Yeah. No, it's that's a good one. I love it. What else do I have to mention? There was something else I wanted to touch on before we go out. Oh, our mate Eddie Sheehan on his Planet Sail, he's just done a big thing on the speed sailing stuff.
We really got to put our head into that one, actually.
Yeah, I think we might follow up on that.
Quite mind-boggling,
But
as a matter of fact.
Go to the to Maddie's Planet Sail page, and he does a monthly video, and there's a big discussion on that as well. So it's probably worth diving in on that one. We kind of, I think we've subtly or socially formed a partnership with Matt and his page. I think we're quite happy to cross promote each other. So we promote any.
So go to planetsail.co.uk.
Yeah.
Check it all out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. Anything else?
No, all done. Have a good trip, Jordan. We'll hopefully you're in economy row 39E. Right behind the toilets. Should be good.
No, I'm just in front of the toilets.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, 33. I think I'm on a check.
Handy.
I'm not going to give what my secret is to travel when you're in economy class. I've got a little thing my wife worked out. It's pretty clever. But it's not just lining up near the toilet.
Yeah, it's called a lounge.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very good, Jess.
All right, boys.
Well done.
All right. Where are
Farewell.
you? You got your guitar?
Yeah, I got it
I
here.
heard you're doing the Tommy Manuel version this week.
Yeah, that's it.
See you later, everyone.
There, boys.
Hola.
Love you, Wack.
Hola.
Hasta luego.
Take me when I